My Toyota Tacoma is illegal. Well, depending. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to RobMotive. And that's right, I have made my Toyota Tacoma illegal. Of course, it depends. We're going to get into it, but real quick, if you haven't before, smash that subscribe button and click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. You know, one thing you have to watch out for when you're putting mods on your Toyota Tacoma is that you stay legal. Now, I've made my Toyota Tacoma illegal, but I did it knowingly. I didn't go in, put things on the truck, and then be surprised when I find out that something that I've done is not legal. So what am I talking about? There are three things that I've done that do not comply legally on my Toyota Tacoma. The first one is the window tint. You know, I go with 20%, and I think 20% closely, or as closely as possible, matches the factory tint on the rears. You know, every truck, SUV, comes with tinted windows from the passenger rear back. And I think it looks ridiculous to go too light or too dark on the driver's and passenger front windows. So I always try to match it up, and I have found 20% is pretty much right about there. But that's not legal. You know, in the area I'm in, and maybe all of Texas, I'm not sure, it's either 34 or 36%. I forget which one. But either way, 20% is not legal. And I know there are a lot of folks that worry about that. When I first did the tint, posted up the video, I had comments from people about, I'm going to get pulled over, I'm going to get fined, the cops are going to make me rip the tint off the window while I'm sitting on the side of the road. And while all that can happen, it's not really a primary offense. I mean, unless a cop is really bored or you're doing something really crazy, they're not going to pull you over for window tint. You really have to be doing something else. Speeding, driving recklessly, maybe cruising around with your radio blasting, maybe not stopping at a stoplight or a stop sign. That's when you get in trouble with window tint that's too dark. They're not going to waste their time pulling you over for some stupid ticket on something as trivial as window tint, particularly when you live in an area that gets so much sunshine. You know, it's bright, sunny here pretty much all the time, year round. So everybody has tinted windows. The cops could just sit in a corner and just pull cars over one after another because of illegal tint. When I say tinted windows, I mean illegally tinted windows. You see it everywhere. Now, that's no excuse. If you do get pulled over and they do question you about your illegal Tacoma tint, saying that everybody else is doing it is not a reason. You know, that's like a kindergarten response. Well, Johnny did it, so I thought I would. Well, we don't care what Johnny did. We're talking to you. So just beware. If you go below, it is illegal. Next up is tire poke. You know, my truck is not extreme, but I do stick outside of the wheel wells. You know, it's not legal in most places, if in every place, I think, to have your tires sticking out of the fenders. And there's good reason for that, and I don't disagree with it. And that is to keep the junk on the road from flying behind you and smacking the vehicle behind you. Now, some would say that having a tire or tires, I hope it's all of them consistently, stick out is not very considerate of your fellow driver. And I would agree with that. It isn't. But mine is marginal. You know, mine stick out about 1 inch to 3 inches, somewhere in there, depending on where you measure it. And obviously, since they're outside of the wheel well and I'm not running mud flaps, anything that would get stuck in the tread, like stones or anything like that, would go flying off the back and potentially smack into somebody else. It's not right. I admit it, but I love the look, and I'm gonna plead what I said in the beginning. Lots of other people are doing it, so I'm gonna do it too. You know, maybe if I was the only one and I was the only inconsiderate person out there, I might think twice about it, but it's just so common. In my area, I was just behind an old Toyota something or other, JT, TJ, whatever the heck it's called. you know, the ones they don't make anymore, and they were sticking outside of the wheel well. They had removed the fenders. They were sticking outside of the wheel well at least 5 inches. I mean, there was this much tire sticking out all the way around. So that is much more of a hazard, I think, because there's just so much more area and tread exposed to throw things to the back. So I'm willing to take the risk. You can get fined for it. I've seen lots of other YouTubers make videos where they're pulled over on the side of the road and the cops are talking to them about their tires that are too far out. You'll get a fix ticket, you know, fix it or pay, whatever it is, or they could even impound your car if they wanted to. I mean, technically, if it's illegal, it shouldn't be on the road. So just beware. If you go with a wheel poke, depending on how far you go and what luck you're having that day and who pulls you over, you could have a problem. The next one is my most recent mod, number 3, and that is the exhaust. Now, this is really dependent on where you live. Different municipalities, I think even within states, have different noise ordinances. And if you put, I know in some areas, any aftermarket exhaust on your truck, they're going to have a problem with it because you can't do anything. I believe New York is one of those areas. New York, New Jersey, I think, I've been told anyway by some subscribers that you cannot have an aftermarket exhaust on your Tacoma, because if you do, they will pull you over, they will fine you, and they will give you a fix-it ticket, I guess it's called, where you have to change the exhaust. And what a drag that would be. Can you imagine you go out, you spend the money on it, and then you've got to rip it off, sell it, hopefully. I mean, if you live in an area where it's not allowed, you might have trouble trying to sell it to get some of your money back. And that's the other problem. You're probably not going to get all your money back because nobody's buying used at new prices. So just beware. If you go with an aftermarket exhaust, I would check your area. And maybe ask around, you know, how sensitive, even if there is an ordinance, how sensitive is the law enforcement in your area to something like an aftermarket exhaust? I mean, are they pulling people over left and right? Do they kind of not do anything unless you get pulled over for something else and they happen to notice it? It'd be something good to be aware really on any of these 3 things, just so that you know what kind of risk you're taking. And make sure that if something happens, realize that it's your fault. You should know going in that you're putting something illegal on the truck. I wouldn't hassle the officer that pulls you over. You knew that you did it. I mean, come on. If you get caught, you get a ticket. Come on, that's on you. Same for me. I'm willing to take the risk because I love what's on the truck. I think it's an improvement over stock. And I do it again and again, and probably even leave them on, even if I did get pulled over and get a ticket, as long as I don't have one of those stupid fix-it things where I have to prove that I fixed it. Who knows? Anyway, I just wanted to get on, kind of talk about that. My Toyota Tacoma is illegal on 3 different counts. I'm assuming the exhaust is not legal in Texas either. Leave a comment, let me know. You ever been pulled over for any of those? Maybe more than one. I'd be curious to know. Also, again, if you didn't in the beginning, make sure you smash that subscribe button and click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. I do have 2 additional channels. RobMotive JT, all about the Jeep Gladiator, and RobMotive FST, all about full-size trucks. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? Thanks for watching. Stay legal out there. Bye.